Hello, and welcome back to the sim. In this one, we're jumping back in with SPAD.next and the new user series. This one's an update because, well, with 2024 out, we now have to go through how to install your LVAR bridge again. So before we jump directly into SPAD.next, let's first do a quick cover of how to move your community folder inside of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. So you're gonna wanna head to the marketplace. Even though the marketplace is not available, you can still come to the My Library section. Under the My Library section, you're gonna come over here to the cog wheel and you're going to click on it. So normally this would be the default location, wherever it puts it. Now, a lot of people like to move their community folder, so this is how you move it. But it's also important because sometimes it doesn't actually write the file correctly. So we're gonna have to cover how to do that as well. So you'd come here, you would browse to the location where you wanted it. So here I moved it to my D drive and I made a separate folder for it. Now, none of these folders existed until after you save it. Then you exit the sim, you come back in, and it will create these folders in the location which you've defined. So we're gonna go ahead and say, yep, that's where we want it to go. So then we hit confirm, and that should save it. So now what we want to do is we want to go back, and we're going to quit to desktop. And then what we want to do is once it's quit to desktop, you want to launch the sim again so that it will build those folders in that location. Okay, so let's jump back in. Now that we've come back, let's head over to our marketplace. We're going to go to My Library. We're gonna hit that cog wheel, and now it is back to the location which was where we were trying to be. So this is where we wanna be, that you come in and you see this and you've confirmed it. So now that we have made sure it's there, we're gonna exit the sim again because we need to install the LVAR bridge. So make sure you quit to desktop again, and then we're going to jump into the Discord. So here what you're gonna see in the Discord is we do have a section under the default free add-ons for 2024. Inside of there, you will find the post about the community folder mapping and installation bridge. So you can also follow along with this in text. The reason why I bring it up is it's a great place to come because you're going to want to copy this here. So we want to copy this because then we can take where we went and verified that, yes, it did write those folders, so we know the folders are there. So if we come and we bring up that config, it'll jump to our config for us. So hopping in and looking at it, you want to come all the way down to the bottom of the file, and you want to make sure that it has the correct folder written inside of it. Now, this is important because this is how SPAD and a lot of your other add-ons are finding the installation path. And sometimes it's been empty like this. And if it shows up empty like this, then when you run the SPAD installation bridge, it's going to look wrong. So if you come in and you don't see it here, make sure that you go back, copy the path. So where we were in that file explorer and you found your path, click in the bar, copy it, come back to here, and make sure that you paste it, and then make sure to save that file. So now that that's saved and that's where it is, we can go ahead and we can close this off. So now, like we were saying here, once we've done all that, we can run the bridge. So jumping into SPAD, once you've launched it, and again, we have to do this with the simulation not connected. Don't want the sim running because it has to write files that the sim then needs to load, right? It's got to put its WASM module in, and then that WASM module that's in the community folder has to be built by the sim. So we're going to head over to settings. We're going to come down here to config wizard. Remember, we need these for LVARs, and it's also how we send the H events through the WASM module to trigger some of the devices as well. So you got to click on this. And this is version 5.0. So even if you're not using 2024, you're using Microsoft 2020, and you've done an upgrade, you're going to need to install this. You'll see there's also bridges for P3D version 6, P3D, FSX, FlySim World before version 6 of P3D, so all those, and of course the plugin for XPlane. Any of these that you may be using, you want to install them. So with Microsoft Flight Sim, you'll see you have two options now. So we're going to run the installer for 2020. So it'll go into where it finds its community folder. So we're going to go ahead and install that. So we've got that. Now I'm going to run it a second time. This second time is so I can put it into 2024 as well. And this is what's important. Verify, yes, that is where my community is, and that is where the sim is getting it from. So we're going to hit next. We're going to install it, and we are done. So there you go. LVAR Bridge is installed into the community folder. We're good to go. Let's jump back into the sim, and then we're going to make sure that SPAD is connected, and we'll show you how to check the status. Now that we're back in the sim, we're going to go ahead and hit the start button. Let's grab free flight real quick. Let's grab a plane. Good old 172 never hurt. So we're going to take the Cessna 172. And let's go ahead and grab somewhere to launch from. We're going to go with CYOW, of course, my favorite. And then we are going to back up the time and go ahead and start the flight. While that's starting, we're going to switch back over to SPAD.next. Of course, it's saying, hey, what do you want to put this with? I've already got a 172 for 2024. So I'm going to go ahead and add it. We're going to head over to settings, status, and now under status we can see sunrise and we can see it's connected. Now the thing to know is we are in the loading stage. So SPAD's not going to start pulling at it until we're at the fly now, because if you try to access data and pull from it, you could get in trouble. So let's go ahead and hit the ready to fly button so that we come out, and now here we are on a runway. And if we jump back to SPAD.next and we come back to the status page, you'll see not only are we game state flying, so we're good down here in the bottom right hand corner, game state flying, but now you can see that we have 232 B events that it has found. So B events are discovered when you load into the flight, because it can now read the files and see what events it has available. So there you go. That is the easiest way to get the LVAR Bridge installed, and then to verify that it is up running, and you will have access to B events, you'll have access to LVARs, and of course H events to send into the sim. If you made it this far, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, come along with us on the next one. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.